So as you already know, I've mentioned about confidence, I've mentioned about self-esteem, but still people have problems. You tell somebody how to do something, but still they either don't do it or they don't do it and get the result that they want. Remember, it's not just about doing something. Whenever you want to get a good physique, it's not just showing up at the gym. It's also doing the right workout. If you want to build self-confidence, if you want to build self-esteem, you have to show up, yes, but you also have to do the stuff the way that it gets results. I'm telling you specifically what to do. If you don't actually do it all, then you don't get the results. It's not enough to go for a jog on the treadmill and try and get big legs. You have to do heavy squatted workouts. You did better than the person who didn't show up to the gym. Whenever you're going out to build self-esteem, you actually have to interact with other people. You have to do things that push you out of your comfort zone. The more that you can do it, the more you're willing to put yourself on the line, the more you're willing to do things that you've never done before, the more you're going to be totally confident in the future. You got to keep working that comfort muscle. It's as soon as you're comfortable in an environment, you're not going up any further. You're just either maintaining, and more often than not, you're just slowly taking away from what you used to be doing. Because the more you press, the more you push, the more your body has to respond, has to build, has to become more comfortable. But the more you relax and get settled, you'll slowly just take away from the standards that you once had. If you want to have more self-confidence, if you want to have more self-esteem, these things do not come from wearing the best clothes. These things do not come from having the best body. These things do not come from feeling good because you did one thing. These things come from what you train your body to do. You could be wearing the worst ripped clothes ever. You could have the worst physique ever. Whatever you determine the worst physique ever, you could have the worst of anything. That should not affect your self-esteem or your self-confidence. Your self-esteem and self-confidence should come from what you believe you're able to do. And if you want to have more belief in what you can do, it comes from doing things that you've never done before. It comes from doing things that are difficult. It comes from doing things that are uncomfortable for you. For someone who's a salesperson to go knock on doors, that's easy. But for someone who's never spoken to someone outside the house, to go and speak to someone at the local shop is difficult. If you want to get the growth that you need, it's relative to you. It's not meeting the checklist of somebody else's comfort zones. It's about meeting the checklist of what's out of your comfort zone. We all know what it is we're uncomfortable with, but rarely do we have the courage to actually be honest with ourselves and say, you know what, I'm uncomfortable with this, I'm uncomfortable with that, and I know I need to make a change here. If you can do that and list those 3 things, then you might as well throw your clothes on right now, get out there and do them. If you are uncomfortable, every day you're going in and you know you should be ringing these 3 people, but you know they're difficult, so you leave them every day. It's more important to phone those 3 people than to keep pushing and ignoring it. Those things create a hesitation in the gut. If you want to be anywhere where you just swing anywhere you stand, it's whenever you're not uncomfortable with anything. And the only way that comes is that you constantly are challenged. You have to be challenged in your environment. It can't be, you cannot stand in the one spot and expect to be ready for any environment. It comes from going in every environment and then you come back tested. Then you go out and do it again. If you want to live life, you'll do those things. If you want to have an unshakable self-confidence, then you have to do the stuff that nobody else is willing to do. But for you, for the person that's never thought like that, for the person that's never thought, I want to have unshakable self-confidence, I'd rather just have a little bit more than I currently have. It comes from doing the uncomfortable thing. And initially, it might feel like someone's doing worse to you because you're so uncomfortable. You think, maybe I'm not doing the right thing by talking to these people because I feel so uncomfortable. No, that's the point that you push through. Become more determined. Whenever you've decided to do something that's out of your comfort zone, that moment where you start to feel nervous, you press through, you say, I'm going to push through this discomfort. I don't care what goes down right now. I'm going to rely on myself to handle it. If you can go in with that type of push, you'll get great results. But if you back down halfway, at least you showed up. But why not get the full benefit and push right through and then go on to the next one, go on to the next thing? That momentum you'll build, you'll feel bad a day you take off. And you'll notice where you lost that edge that you had and you have to rebuild it again. But at least you're moving forward. Keep moving forward. Keep getting out of that comfort zone. I don't care what stage of life you're at. You might be 19 right now and you're afraid of going on a night out, you're afraid and nervous, and you're worried about this, and you end up not going. Or you might be a 50-year-old and you still don't know how to confront someone at work. Someone's been annoying you for 13 years. It's time to talk to this person and let them know what's up. And you know what? Most times, whenever you actually say the thing, it's not as difficult as you once thought. Now, I'm not saying is that always going to be the case. There's been times where I've been pushed twice as hard as I thought I was going to be. But guess what? When you keep pushing and you get through it, you feel better, you feel stronger, you feel happier. And that breath of life is worth more than anything else, that nothing else can give you other than getting out of that comfort zone. Try it now.